It's hard to believe that this is our 10th anniversary. The Greater Prince George's Business Roundtable celebrates 10 years of proud service and leadership to the county and the region. From our first day of operations to the present, we have brought business leaders together with those in the civic and faith communities to make a difference in public policy. Whether partnering with law enforcement to assist in the reduction of crime, to providing our nation's wounded warriors a little piece of home upon their return to the USA at Joint Base Andrews, we are honored to continue our work ensuring that Prince George's County is recognized as the best place to live, work, and grow in the region. I think the county executive would share those thoughts with me. It's our pleasure this afternoon to have a homegrown Prince Georgian who is going to be our master of ceremonies, or mistress of ceremonies. She has actually been in the journalism business for some time and left home after graduating from college, but has now returned. Tracee Wilkins is the Prince George's Bureau Chief for News 4, WRC TV. Her roots run very deep in the county. She was raised in Beltsville and graduated from High Point High School. After graduating from Frostburg State University, she returned to the area as a production assistant and later as a news writer for News 4. Wilkins' first reporting job was at WCBI-TV in Columbus, Mississippi, where she earned an Associated Press Award for her general news reporting. From Columbus, Wilkins headed east to serve as the government reporter and fill-in anchor at WFMY-TV in Greensboro, North Carolina. Working in Greensboro, she was dispatched to Washington to report on the September 11th attacks, both for the station and for WUSA-TV Channel 9 here in Washington. An African-American studies minor in college, Wilkins traveled to Tanzania, teaching African-American history, and wrote for the Arusha Times. Wilkins is very active in the Washington area community. In 2011, she was honored with the 40 Under 40 Award for the Invest Foundation for her philanthropic work in the Washington area. She founded and operated a teen mentoring group called Girls Are Talking, and she'd done that for several years. She is a member of the Federal City Alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta and is an active member of the National Association of Black Journalists. Her other interests include running, biking, painting, and golfing, and I think resting after all of these activities. And not only that, on top of all of that, she's working on her first novel. Let's welcome Tracee Wilkins.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. It's such an honor to be here. I'd like to thank the board and everyone who was responsible for bringing me here today, and most notably, Pete Perringer, spokesman for Laurel City. Pete, raise your hand so everybody can see Pete Perringer. Pete called me and asked if I'd be available to do this, and I told him I have to get approval from the station because I went through this spat of doing events without letting the station know, and I got in trouble. So I have to let the station know, and I said it could take a few weeks for them to give approval, Pete, I just want you to know. So I sent the email to my manager, and he emailed me back like 30 seconds later saying, yeah, of course you can. Pete asked for something, of course you can do it. So, I was thinking, what else can I get Pete to ask for on my behalf that I can get a quick turnaround? It's such an honor to be here. 10 years of helping to make Prince George's County a better county. I'm looking forward to being able to say that the Prince George's County Bureau for NBC4 in Washington, I'm looking forward to 10 years of that. We're in our first year right now. Thank you to everyone here who's been supportive. And looking around the room, I see a number of people who I have either stalked or stopped or called or forced into interviews, helping our Bureau to be what it is, so I appreciate that. The Prince George's County Business Roundtable. It's in the name how important this group is. We're all sitting at round tables today, and you know what that means. You can look each other in the eye. You can have a conversation with someone that you know, and you can even lean over and whisper when you're sitting at a round table. But at the end of the day, when we talk, when we sit around and talk, we impact our communities. We change our communities, and that's what the Business Roundtable is about. It's about the future of this county. It's about making it great, and for 10 years, they have included as many people as possible in that endeavor. So let's give them a round of applause for the work that they've done and the work that they're doing. We have a number of elected officials who are with us that we want to make sure we acknowledge. State Senator Joanne Benson, I see in the room. Also, State Senator Ulysses Curry is here. Prince George's House Delegation Chair, Jolene Ivey. Delegate Aisha Braveboy. Delegate Melanie Griffith. Delegate Darren Swain. Did I miss Delegate Swain? I don't see Delegate Swain, but expected to be here. Prince George's County Sheriff Melvin High is here as well. Is he here? Is Sheriff High here? I don't see Sheriff High. Okay, maybe he's not here, but he was expected to be here as well. County Councilman Derek Davis, I know is here, just spoke with him. County Councilwoman Karen Tolles also here, sitting next to Councilmember Davis. Now, do I see Councilman Franklin here? I don't see him. Okay. He'll be here shortly, I'm told. Councilman Obie Patterson is here. Laurel Mayor Greg Moe. So thank you all of our elected officials who have joined us here this afternoon. Did I get everybody? Oh, well, the council chair is going to be speaking. But thank you for keeping me on task, and I appreciate that. Yes, so if I didn't say your name, that's because you're probably speaking in just a little while. We also have 2 additional Air Force guests with us that we would like to acknowledge as well. General Stacey Harris is here. Brigadier General Stacey Harris, the first African-American woman to command an Air Force flying wing. She currently serves as mobilization assistant to the commander, 18th Air Force. Also, Chief Master Sergeant Scott Fuller is here with us. Okay. Chief Fuller is the Command Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force District of Washington, responsible for over 40,000 airmen across the globe. Thank you very much for your service and for what you do for us. We're now going to have opening remarks. V. Doyle Mitchell, chair of the Greater Prince George's Business Roundtable, will join us for opening remarks.
Thank you, Tracee. I appreciate that. I couldn't be more humbled, to tell you the truth, to be chair of the Prince George's County CEO Roundtable at this time of our 10th year, celebrating our 10th year anniversary. I'm really proud to be a part of the board because 10 years ago, Jim Estep had a vision to create an exclusive chamber of high-level CEOs and to improve the business climate in Prince George's County, but while remaining sensitive to the needs of the community. This is not a common characteristic of other chambers I've been involved with, and I've been in maybe 1 or 2 fairly exclusive chambers, and it's just not something that you see quite often. We've had community forums. We've reached out to young entrepreneurs. We've established the Andrews Alliance, which not only recognizes the economic significance of Andrews to the community, but just as important, if not more, has embraced Andrews as a part of the Prince George's County community. And appropriately so, to embrace our men and women of service. As Jim briefly mentioned, we established a receiving room for returning veterans years ago. I'm most proud to have participated when the Roundtable commissioned an independent, nonpartisan study paid for by the members to study all of the effects of gaming to our county and to our state. It framed the discussion, and because of it, our elected officials were able to bring the tremendous economic benefits to the county and the state. While providing solutions to mitigate any social fallout. I feel really pleased about that. Years later, here we are 10 years later, we've stuck to that. We've stuck to pushing for the business climate in Prince George's County, but including everyone. And I'm just proud to be a part of this board. And I want to thank Jim for his leadership on the 10th anniversary for building CEO Roundtable. Give him a big standing round of applause. Standing round of applause. Thank you very much.
We're celebrating 10 years of the Prince George's County Business Roundtable. 10 years of dedication to this county, 10 years of making this county better, 10 years of supervising economic development, talking with folks about how to make improvements in that arena, as well as crime and education. The folks who contribute to this organization have their hands in a little bit of everything in this county. So there are plenty of folks who want to acknowledge the work of this organization and share a few words today. We have a long list of honored guests, and we're honored to have them with us, starting with Lieutenant Governor Anthony Brown. I have to do your introduction.
No, George.
I have to do your introduction. There's a blessing in the introduction, they say. Okay. All right. Colonel in the U.S. Army Reserves. He is the nation's highest-ranking elected official to have served a tour of duty in Iraq. He leads the governor's health care effort, as well as served as the chairman of the state's BRACSUP cabinet, as Maryland led the nation in gains following the 2005 BRAC. He's a proud Prince Georgian. And in case you hadn't heard, he's officially a candidate for, I believe, the governor of Maryland.
That's it.
You hadn't heard? Round of applause for Lieutenant Governor.
Thank you, Tracee. Thank you very much. And I certainly commend you for your professionalism and what you brought to the Prince George Bureau at NBC4. Thank you very much. Let me just start by saying thank you very much to the Business Roundtable. Jim, I remember when I returned home from Iraq in 2005, the very first public event that I participated in about 2 weeks after coming home in September was when the Business Roundtable cut the ribbon of the Maryland room over at Malcolm Grove at Joint Base Andrews, formerly known Andrews Air Force Base. And for those of you who don't know, Joint Base Andrews welcomes home hundreds, if not thousands, of men and women who have answered the call of duty to serve our nation, many of them wounded warriors. And their first stop on the way back home to their families and their community is at Andrews. So I want to thank the men and women in uniform, particularly at Andrews. I want to thank General Dunbar and for your leadership. But I really want to thank the Business Roundtable for your commitment to the men and women who served our country and what it means to their families. So I was thinking as I was coming down today about about that event, and it means a lot to me. And I encourage you and all of us to continue fighting for, advocating on behalf of, and supporting our veterans, our military families, and the men and women who answer the call to duty. Remembering the past, celebrating the present, and focusing on the future. Fantastic theme for the 10th anniversary. I commend the Roundtable for 10 years of outstanding service. I agree, as do I know Jim does, I know our county executive does, I know our Senate President does. I look around the room, I think we can all agree that we do our best when we're working together with our eyes focused on the future, a future with greater opportunity, more jobs, and a stronger economy. And that's why I'm very proud of our county executive working with the county council, developing a $50 million economic development fund in Prince George's County to attract more and more businesses. That's why I'm proud of the partnership that we have between the state and the county, our commitment to bringing the FBI to Maryland, to Prince George's County. And we have assured the county council and the county executive that wherever we locate the FBI building, and we've got a number of competitive sites in Prince George's County, the state will deliver on its share of infrastructure to support the FBI coming here. We focus on the future, a future of expanded opportunities. That's why we work with the county in their Transitioning Neighborhood initiative. We are at our best when we take care of one another, when we use the tools of government to protect our neighbors and to expand opportunities. So when we look at communities in Maryland and in Prince George's County that are struggling more than others, as the tide is rising, we need to ensure that we lift all boats. So by focusing our efforts there, state and county working together, we take care of our neighbors. I know Jolene Ivey, chair of the council, is cited as anybody else that real soon, because of your leadership, we are going to bring a headquarters. Not just the headquarters, we're bringing the whole doggone department, the Department of Housing and Community Development, to Prince George's County. We're at our best when we take care of one another, and that means expanding access to health care. And that's why we're going to work with Phil Downs to make sure that Doctors Hospital is included in the governor's capital budget so you all can continue delivering the quality of care. We're excited about MedStar and its acquisition of Southern Maryland and what that means, a $100 million investment in healthcare. And we're really excited about the partnership that we're going to see between the University of Maryland Medical System and Prince George's Hospital as we bring world-class health facilities to Prince George's County. So we remember the past, conjures up notions of successful leadership under Wayne K. Curry, who's here. We celebrate the present, and that's each and every one of us. And let's together stay focused on the future for a better Prince George's County and a better Maryland. God bless each and every one of you.
Next speaker will be the President of the Maryland State House, Mike Miller. He is the current longest-serving state Senate president in the United States, and he is the longest-serving Senate president in the history of the state of Maryland. Of course, he needs no introduction.
Thank you so much.
The Honorable Mike Miller.
Thank you so much. Folks, very briefly, just hold the clapping. You clapping like this after every 10 seconds kind of reminds me of the time I had Steny Hoyer down at the Piscataway Indian Reservation. And every time Steny would say something, they'd clap, they'd go, Mgawa, Mgawa. And as we were leaving, guy says to Steny, we're leaving, he goes, don't step in the Ngawa, you know what I mean? So anyway, it's good to be here. Now, Jim and I go way back, at least 40 years. I was his campaign manager when he ran for the president of the Surrattsville High School Elementary School PTA. That's a fact. It was a tough election. He was running against a dentist who was very well known. And we eked it out, and then he's managed my campaigns ever since. And he's done a good job. And, of course, he was a civic activist and county council member, volunteer firefighter, career firefighter, head of all the career firefighters in the county, then head of all the career firefighters and public safety, police department as well. And just been a great friend over the years. Very proud to know him. He's a role model in terms of a husband, in terms of a father, in terms of a grandfather, and just helping to make Prince George's County such a better place. When I first ran for office, this was a gravel pit, Smoot Bay gravel pit. And then it was going to be Port America. And then dreams have come true. People have worked hard to make Prince George's County a better place. And nobody's worked harder to make that happen than our friend Jim Eastep. So I'm going to present to you this Senate resolution, Jim, congratulating you on a job well done. Thank you so much.
Senator Miller, is this? Oh, okay, because I collect these. Okay. Never know. Another man who needs no introduction. In fact, we just left an excellent example of what the Transforming Neighborhoods initiative is doing. I was in my boots and raincoat. The weather was a little different. And of course, the county executive was there as they began demolition on a house over there in Landover, right down the street from the church that I grew up in, Parkview Baptist, in Palmer Park. So a lot of my church members were out there saying we're so happy about what this Transforming Neighborhoods initiative is doing in our community, and we're happy that we have elected officials who are paying attention to the blights in our community. So let's put our hands together and give a warm round of applause for the Honorable Rashawn Baker, County Executive, Prince George's County.
Can we do this? Can we give our homegirl, Tracee Wilkins, another round of applause? Isn't she great? You know, before I talk about the roundtable, let me just say something about Tracee and having the Bureau here and how important that is to Prince George's County. For years, we have talked about what we're doing here in the county and the fact that it's not covered in this Washington region. And one of the things that Jim and I talked about was the fact that the economic engine for the Washington region, and dare I say, the state, is Prince George's County. Well, we can't let people know that unless we're being covered. So let's give her a real round of applause. I want to congratulate Doyle, the Business Roundtable, for 10 years of great service to Prince George's County. The vision of Jim Estep and the board. I know it's a difficult job. At one point, you had Wayne Curry there giving you advice when he was former county executive. I know how hard it is to listen to Wayne at meetings. I tease him because you know, it speaks to the power that Jim has and the vision and how much he cares about this community and making it better. You know, as county executive, I couldn't actually imagine having to deal with the issues that I've had to deal with without having his counsel. Jim and I have talked since we actually first ran for, actually before that, when he was chair of the county council and I was chair of the House delegation. We worked together. We ran in for county executive. And after that, I would come back to Jim and ask for advice. And we get together at least once a month to just talk about issues. So it's just a great tool for us to have here and bounce off ideas like Transforming Neighborhoods Initiative, like our EDI fund, like the fact that when I was forming the Education Commission on Excellence in Education, we asked Jim Estep to be part of it. And the reason we did was because of the work of the Business Roundtable and bringing that to bear on making Prince George's County better. Let me close with this, and also he highlighted our work with Joint Base Andrews. I grew up on the military bases, but as an elected official in here in Prince George's County, I never really had much interaction. One of the first acts we did of this administration was really to form an official relationship with Joint Base Andrews and talk about development around there. And that was based on the initiative that Jim and the Business Roundtable had with talking with Gwen McCall, our president of our EDC, to get us involved in that. And so that deserves a round of applause for doing that. We're very proud. Let me end on this. Jim is not just, you know, and the Business Roundtable are not just, you know, associates and friends of ours. They're personal friends. Nancy and Jeff and Jim Jr., but especially Nancy and Jim have been friends to my wife and I for over, you know, these last 25 years that we've been involved. And we've gone to church together and just really close. And that has meant a lot, because a lot of times we'll have meetings and it's just about how are you doing? How's your family? And that speaks to the quality of the man and the quality of the organization. Thank you very much.
The first time I met this next speaker, he was picking up trash on the side of the road next to our county executive because his team lost to the Redskins. Granted, they went on to have some minor success later in the season. But on that day, it was a victory for Washington. It was a victory for our team and the county as he sang the Redskins song as he was picking up trash on the side of the road. But aside from that, at the beginning of when he was first elected, he was the youngest county executive to ever serve in the state of Maryland. During his time as county executive, Forbes magazine has consistently rated Howard County as one of the best places to raise a family. And USA Today named Howard the second most technologically advanced county in America. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Howard County County Executive Ken Allman.
Thank you very much, Tracee, for reminding me of that day. It's really wonderful. No. Thank you for being here today. Actually, it's funny. When I first walked in, your deputy police chief, Velez, reminded me that the last time I saw him was when I stopped by the 3rd District after picking up trash on Sheriff Road, when I, with Karen and Andrea, and stopped by to thank the men and women in your police department for the work that they do. And I would just say this to my good friend, Rashawn Baker. I will put on an RG3 jersey, pick up trash, and sing Hail to the Redskins every week if it means we win the Super Bowl again. It was a good, fun game. That was a good, and I hope RG3's ready to go because Redskins are on the right track, just as Prince George's County is. I just wanted to be here to say thank you to Jim and your family and your board for your leadership. You've been a great friend to me and to so many others. I was thinking as the others were talking, you play a role in so many things that you don't even know. You know, the fact that my fire chief, Bill Goddard, got his training under you and is able to give me guidance and advice in helping to lead our fire department in Howard County because of the work with you. Those are things you probably don't even think about, but it's true. Your ripple effect is felt in so many ways. And so thank you for all that you do. It is an honor to call myself a friend and to work with you in the future. I just want to say real quick, you're probably wondering why is this guy from Howard County here? Although, I don't know, a lot of rumors out there, so I don't know. Senator Miller can tell you why. But the real reason is we've got a great thing going in Howard County. Tracee mentioned some accolades. We've got great quality of life. We've got the lowest unemployment rate in the state. We got things going well. But, you know, the fact is we border 6 other counties. We're the only county in Maryland that doesn't border the Chesapeake Bay or another state. We can only do well when everyone is doing well, thriving together. And that's what I've tried to do over the last 6.5 years as county executive. That's why it's been an honor and a thrill to work with Rashawn Baker, to work with your council, to work with your delegation. And I am so excited, as the Lieutenant Governor said, there are so many fabulous, exciting things happening. Just look around here. You know, Wayne can't believe it actually got built, but here we are in beautiful, fabulous National Harbor. The fact that we have a new hospital and investment coming, the fact that together we're all going to work to make sure that FBI's headquarters does come to Prince George's County. I wrote an op-ed in the Baltimore Sun about making sure that everyone in the Baltimore region was paying attention to the importance to the state of Maryland of the FBI headquarters coming to Prince George's County. Those are the kinds of things we've got to do together to make sure we continue to thrive as a state. So consider me today and always a good, close friend and ally of the exciting things happening here in Prince George's County. So Jim, thank you very much for having me.
She has been elected chair of the county council in consecutive years. That rarely happens. She holds the same seat her late father once held, and she is the first woman elected to serve the 5th district on the county council. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the chair of the Prince George's County Council, Ms. Andrea Harrison.
Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, yeah, just a few words, but I'm actually going to ask my colleagues to come up and join me. Councilmember Patterson, Councilmember Davis, Councilmember Turner. And did Mr. Franklin come in? I don't know if Mr. Franklin came in, but I would ask you to join me. I'm just honored to be here with you today to celebrate this 10th anniversary. Would you take that out for me? We have a lot of people speaking, so we're not going to be here long. And I actually have a proclamation on behalf of the County Council that I would like to present to Mr. Estep and to the members of the Business Roundtable to express the sentiments of this particular occasion. But certainly today, the heartfelt expressions that are in this particular proclamation, I'm sure that everyone can take part in. And I really want to personally acknowledge Mr. Estep for his role as a visionary and a thought leader in the ongoing efforts to make sure that all in Prince George's County, businesses and residents as well, thrive and grow. And then I also just want to take a moment. Tracee mentioned that my dad was on the county council, and I think most of you knew that or know that. And when he passed away, he was with a couple of members of the fire department, and Mr. Estep kind of took control, and for that he became one of my heroes. Yeah. And not only that, watching him as chair of the council, being on the council, and then watching him, knowing that he was the chair of COG, and I sort of followed in his footsteps, the first chair of the Council of Government since Mr. Estep. So there are so many wonderful things. He's been a mentor. He's been just a hero to me, so I just really wanted to say that. And I'm not going to read this whole proclamation, but Mr. Estep, if you wouldn't mind joining me. And I think that these small phrases really sum up the entire thing. Whereas the belief of the Greater Prince George's Business Roundtable is that by giving of their time, expertise, and inherent sense of altruism will help to bring about a better home for all Prince Georgians. And whereas the Prince George's County Council is honored to have this opportunity to participate in the most important celebration and support the continued efforts of the the Greater Prince George's Business Roundtable. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Prince George's County Council that the Greater Prince George's Business Roundtable is congratulated on its 10th year anniversary, and further, they are wished continued success in their service to the people and businesses in Prince George's County and to the dedicated men and women who serve our nation every day at Joint Base Andrews. Thank you so much.
Where's John? Let's move her a little bit and we'll get, let's see, make sure we get everybody.
Thank you very much for the invitation, for the military members to be here, and thank you very much for the service that you honor so well by taking care of the great men and women who are stationed at Joint Base Andrews. The commander of the 11th Wing is here, Colonel Bill Knight, and the commander of the 89th Airlift Wing, Colonel Minnie Minahan, is here somewhere. I saw him earlier. Okay, very good. There you go. He's sitting down, so but when he stands up, he's hard to miss. But all of us are very honored for the support that you provide. And Mr. Estep is an honorary commander over at our base. And as was mentioned earlier, we are proud to host so many people who pass through. Our wounded warriors are certainly first and foremost in all of our hearts and minds. And obviously big things happen there. This most senior person in the United States happens to like us as well. And Minnie Minahan and Colonel Knight take care of him as well. But my bottom line for all of you is it is great to partner with you. We see great things for the county here, and we so much appreciate your support of the proud men and women who serve, and anything that we can do to tightly team with you to make life better for folks, count us in. Thank you.
Thank you, Major General. My apologies. It's important. Titles are important. Okay, so former County Councilwoman Dorothy Bailey has joined us. We'd like to acknowledge her. There she is in the back of the room. So we've heard about a lot of firsts here with our distinguished speakers, but this could be another first in Prince George's County. Our next three speakers are all graduates of Auburn University. So, exactly. So for the next few minutes, there will be a Tiger takeover here at the podium. They've produced some pretty good quarterbacks. Not as good as some, but they've done a good job. So I'm going to announce all three of our next speakers together. We have Colonel Bill Knight. He also is an MBA with more than 2,800 flying hours. Also, Colonel Michael Minahan, the 89th Airlift Wing, is the presidential wing of the Air Force. He is a member, another MBA with more than 3,400 flying hours, and also Colonel William Mason, fourth straight Air Force guest with an MBA, more than 5,300 flying hours. Give them a round of applause.
Well, I tell you, we were all as shocked that we rose to the level of being wing commanders, being Auburn graduates, as you are.
Some more than others.
Some more than others. But just real briefly, I want to say thank you to the Roundtable. As a commander at Andrews and as the base commander, we take seriously our responsibility to take care of the men and women that serve there and their family members. And the Roundtable has reached out over the last decade to the command team that flows through there. And I realize it's probably a little bit frustrating to the community that we cycle through so quickly. But you provide continuity and you provide instant friendship to us as we come into our command tours. And what that allows us to do is it allows us to better take care of the men and women that are defending the United States of America and better enable us to support democracy and diplomacy and the national defense that we're all charged to do as we wear the uniform. So I want to say thank you for that. And the other part that it does is it allows us to be instantly connected with you so that we can be part of this community, which is what we want to do. This is base number 11 for me, and you've already heard that I'm from down south. You know, grew up just outside of New Orleans, Louisiana. And so this is not where I grew up, but you have made it home for me and for my family. And that's what we want to do as we come and serve here in Prince George's County and serve in Maryland, is we want to be able to connect to our communities and make a difference for the people that we are privileged to serve. So Jim, I want to thank you for 10 years of reaching out to commanders at the base, to the base commanders, and I want to thank you personally for what you have done for me and for the 11th Wing and for Susan. And Susan and I really value you and Nancy's friendship, so thank you to you. And thank you to the Roundtable. Congratulations on 10 years. I hope this will be many, many, many more commanders that will be able to stand up and say these words for the Roundtable. War Eagle.
I'm the one they keep having to lower the standards for when it comes to the Auburn degree. First of all, congratulations to everybody. I love a crowd that's hard to corral at the beginning of an event, and certainly you all were very difficult to corral. But it's an indication of two things for me. First, it's an indication that the interaction is genuine. And when the interaction is genuine, there is no limit to what you can accomplish. And it's also not lost on me that when the interaction is genuine, that tone is set at the top. And so I commend you for setting that tone, Mr. Estep. I want to join the long line of people thanking you for your support. The Air Mobility Command lost a tanker and 3 airmen last week fighting the war in Afghanistan. And it's a reminder to me that how important and how essential the partnerships that exist, not just within the base, but without the base. It's a reminder to me that I have to have an amazing ability to rely on tight partners, other wings, other people, to ensure that we do everything in our power to make sure that our airmen, when they go in harm's way, have everything they need to get the job done. And there's no more important piece for that partnership to exist than with the community. It's an honor to generate air power and project air power from Prince George's County. It's an absolute honor to generate and project air power from the state of Maryland. I can't thank you enough for that partnership, and it has been an honor for my kids, for my family, to wherever we're from, to come here and call it home and have that be genuine. So thank you very much, sir.
Good afternoon. Just want to take a moment to thank you for letting me come and speak to you today. Jim, I do appreciate it. Quit making me follow him. I get to speak behind Colonel Minahan everywhere we go, but you're leaving this summer, so I won't have to worry about that anymore. I want to take a little bit different perspective on thanking you. We are a reserve wing. 90% of our members will serve in the 459th for their entire career. They live here, they live in your communities, they're doctors, nurses, firemen, policemen, they're your neighbors. They work for you, they work with you. And I understand the impact that it has on business, community leaders when we deploy our personnel. So I do thank you for the support that you give to the reserves and to the Guard. I'll speak for them, even though they're different. Colonel Minahan mentioned it. We did lose a tanker last week. That kind of hits home to us because we actually deployed our ops and maintenance this Monday. So they are now in Southwest Asia serving, carrying on the operations there. So we do keep that in mind. Again, thank you for what you do. Thank you for supporting the Reserve and the Guard. Thank you.
Next, we will have Major General Scott Gray, retired United States Air Force. It was then Brigadier General Scott Gray who helped usher in the Andrews Business and Community Alliance as a subsidiary of the Business Roundtable, laying the groundwork for the solid relationship between business, elected officials, the community, and Joint Base Andrews.
Well, Jim, you always said you're going to get back at me. Put me last in this line of speakers. We're even, man. That's all I can say about that. So, yeah, note to self, don't ever go last after this one. This is unreal. I want to give a little history lesson, and I'm going to start off by saying congratulations. That's the end of the story. When I came here to take command back in 2003, it was very different for me because there was only one civic leader in the audience from this area. But I had 10 from prior bases I'd been stationed at that came in. That one man in the audience representing Prince George's County was Jim. And I said, something's not right here. So we went to work, and I sat down with my leadership team and said, why aren't we more entrenched with the community? Why aren't we out helping the community solve their problems? How do we change that? And so we revitalized an honorary commanders group that we had. And I said, I want one guy who's got more energy than anybody else to come out and help us reinvigorate this broken system. And they said, well, there's only one guy that can do that. It's Jim Estep. So Jim and I met for lunch at the golf course at Andrews, and we sat down and started talking. At the end, I said, you're my new honorary commander. And he goes, okay, I'm not sure what that really means. I said, oh, hold on, you can enjoy the ride. And he said, okay, fine, what are we going to do? And I sort of outlined my vision of where I wanted to go on the base. And he said, okay, great, but here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to come join in as an honorary member of the Business Roundtable. I said, great, but what's that mean? He said, hold on, enjoy the ride. And so there's two of us that sat down over lunch, literally, and we came up with a vision and a plan and a strategy to implement that plan that has led to where we are today, if you will. The leadership team on the Business Roundtable is absolutely incredible. The vision they had for Prince George's County has come to fruition. You're seeing it. You're sitting in part of it right now. It's only going to get better. And I'll tell you, what one of the adjuncts was the Andrews Alliance, where Jim and I sat down and said, we've got to really strengthen this allegiance that we've got to each other. And what grew out of that was starting I was wing commander, and I had to award a contract to mow the lawn, all the grass out at Andrews. And the folks that won it were out of Alaska. And I just scratched my head and said, what do you mean folks out of Alaska? Well, sir, it's a minority-owned company, and they bid on it. And I just said, what are you talking about? No one from Prince George's County bid? Not one person bid. So Jim and I sat down and talked, and I talked with some other folks on the roundtable, and we didn't know how to bid in this area. So we started teaching classes on how to get out and bid for business contracts and everything. And that was sort of the nucleus, if you will, for the Andrews Alliance. It grew into the Maryland House. It grew into Nancy Estep being on the board of the Fisher House, which is like a Ronald McDonald for Wounded Warriors, right there at Andrews, one of the larger ones. It grew into Jim and Nancy and other folks from the round table coming out and greeting the warriors when they came back all busted up from Iraq and Afghanistan. It grew into so many good things. It's just absolutely amazing. When I left command in 2005, I had all kinds of members from the round table, all kinds of elected officials at that change of command, not to say goodbye to me, but to welcome in the new commander. And looking at all the blue uniforms, and there's nobody more surprised than me. We have 3 Auburn grads and a wing commander, because I'm an Alabama grad, and that's like roll tide. Yeah, roll tide's right, sir. I appreciate that, Senator. See, I knew I wasn't totally outnumbered. But I've also got to brag, because there's a couple of folks that need special recognition, and they are actually Jeff Bohanka and Brian Metzer, who right now are on the staff, if you will, for General Paul Selva at AMC, representing your county, your state at the highest level with Air Mobility Command. And Jim Estep is actually doing that with General Welch on his personal Civic Leader Council. So Prince George's County is now represented at the highest levels of the United States Air Force, and all goes back to a couple of guys having lunch out at Andrews Air Force Base. So I wanted to give that little piece of history. You look at here, the civic leaders, the elected officials, what you folks are doing right now for Prince George's County is going to pave the way for the entire state of Maryland in decades and centuries to come. Thank you so much for allowing me to come back and be home again, Jim. I appreciate it, and congratulations to all of Prince George's County.
Let's give a big round of applause to all the folks with Andrews Air Force Base. All of these people who are serving and protecting and taking care of our community, and then also volunteering. So thank you for everything that you're doing.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm delighted to be here on behalf of Senator Barbara Mikulski, but also because I feel like almost an honorary member of the Roundtable. I've been coming to the meetings and engaging with the Roundtable for so long. So I used to even have a seat at the table, but we'll talk about that. But on behalf of my colleagues from Senator Cardin's office and Congressman Hoyer's office and the entire Maryland delegation, we'd like to thank you for all of the work that you do on behalf of the county and your advocacy efforts on behalf of the business community, excuse me. So we have a special citation on behalf of the delegation. Carlton Terrence, come up, please. In honor of your vision, leadership, and advocacy on behalf of the business community in Prince George's County, best wishes for continued success.
Slide over, guys. Slide
Okay,
over.
wait, let's do it right.
Let's do it right. You show us that. I wanted to recognize one individual that has been inspiring to me. He just got inducted into the Maryland Chamber of Commerce Hall of Fame. And I think we should give a round of applause to one of our board members, Mr. Tim Adams of SATEC.
Mr. Estep, you can come back up because we're actually going to go on to the presentation of, the special recognition of the founders. So, Mr. Estep, if you could come back up. William Chesley, Michael Chiaramonte, and Gary Michael.
Phil, if you would.
It's Michael. Thank you. That's your name very much. Yours. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. This is. Go ahead.
Bill, Gary. Bill. Right. That's Bill.
Oh, we got them mixed up here. So.
Good to you.
All right. John, get over here, Dora. Get over this side.
Jim, I've expressed to you exactly how I feel about the Roundtable and all the work that you've done. All the accolades that you've received so far have just been so appropriate, particularly the mentorship that someone spoke about earlier, about how you've raised people up in public safety and all around the county to do wonderful things in the state of Maryland. So I present to you congratulations for maintaining a sound organization over 10 years. It's not very easy to do in business these days, but you've done a fantastic job, and we all appreciate you. Thank you.
And I have a whole row of those things at home on the mantle over the fireplace, where I've been privileged to receive them from some very distinguished folks in military positions that I have met over the years. to commemorate the anniversary, the 10th anniversary of the Business Roundtable, we have our own coin that we'll be passing on to the members of the board who made this organization possible, and through their time and talent and resources, they made certain that it succeeded even during rough times. And we want to honor them now, and as we call their names, ask for each of them to come up. There's so many, I'm going to have to grab the program there, Tracee, to I want you to observe that we have practiced how to properly pass out the coin in the same manner that you would do it. And Doyle and I are going to demonstrate, so I want each of you should come up to watch us here.
You go first, because I can't.
But I'm going to give it to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, is that correct? All right. Okay. Then you pull it back and take a look at it. No, you're going to be handing them out, and I'll give you yours last. First of all, to Tim Adams. You come on over too, Phil.
Thank you.
That's pretty smooth.
As was pointed out, Tim brought along with him the Chief Judge of the 7th Judicial Circuit of Maryland, a very, very powerful position that is occupied by none other than the co-owner of SATEC. No, I'm just kidding. The Honorable Sheila Tillerson Adams. And again, we're really honored to have you, Judge, here today. Vance Ayers. Vance is in a unique position. He represents organized labor. We're probably the only business organization in the country to actually have a seat at the table with organized labor as chair of the Washington Area Building Trades Council. So, Vance, thank you so much for your involvement and for having faith in this group of business leaders that we could work things out. You think we could be a model perhaps for others?
Yes, definitely.
Thank you, Vance.
Thank you very much.
Don't know if Sean Callahan is here from the... Okay. Mr. Bruce Chapman from the Arthur Wilmer Foundation. Bruce, I want to know where you got that tie from. I'm envious. General Roger Blunt. For those of you that don't know the general, he's a retired Major General from the Army Reserve. Also has his own construction company. And the general has the best seats at Oriole Stadium of any that I know. And I'm very envious of those seats, General. And the other thing I want to point out is that through the generosity of his company and his son, General Blunt's son, Jonathan, actually was the on-site manager for the construction of the Maryland room. And he and Nancy, who was the fundraiser, they were quite a team. Now, you're not going to be able to recruit her, General, but thank you so much for what you did, your company, and what Jonathan did. Mr. William F. Chesley of Chesley Real Estate. Now, they doing okay, Colonel? Is that perfect? See, you're doing, Joel? I'm telling you, for a banker, he's. I don't know if Lorenzo Creighton from MGM is here. Okay. And then from former county executive, president of the Michael Companies, former. All right, we're not going to give him one. But the Honorable Wayne Curry certainly has been here and been a vital member of our board. Mr. Darrell Davis.
He'll be right back.
All right. Dr. Charlene Dukes, I know, is probably not here today. She's just been picked by the governor to chair the screening committee for the new CEO of our school system, and is also the chair of the State Board of Education, in addition to being president at the community college. So she's got a few things to do. But we want to thank her. Mr. Doug Duncan, former county executive of Montgomery County, Maryland. Thanks, Doug. and for providing reliable electricity to the rural parts of Prince George's County that previously had several power outages on occasion, Mr. Thomas Graham, the president of PEPCO. Let's give another round of applause to our board member who just took over as chair of the Maryland State Chamber of Commerce as well. Tom said he's upset. I was a little short in my bill this month, so. All right. Representing the Lockheed Martin Company, a young man that I think is someone we're going to see in the future, but he left too. Okay. Is he here?
Yes, well,
Oh.
Lorenzo isn't here anymore.
No, Travis, I'm talking about.
Travis is not.
All right. It's these bifocals, guys. Forgive me. Mr. Michael Caramonte, the president of MedStar Southern Maryland Health Center. I've known Michael for many, many years. The vision of his family to provide health care in Southern Maryland has been remarkable, but more importantly than that, they've been great members of the community, and Michael's been a personal friend, and we congratulate you on assuming the presidency of MedStar Southern Maryland Hospital with the transfer. Mr. Jim Cornelson, the president of Old Line Bank, one of the fastest growing banks in the state of Maryland. Mr. Jason Groves with Medifast. Jason was formerly with Verizon. Now he's with one of the fastest supplement companies in the country, and I understand that stock has been shooting up there, Jason.
Quick, Jason. You didn't see the
All right. Mr. Doug Hayes, the assistant publisher of the Gazette newspapers. Pastor John Jenkins, we know, is on vacation from First Baptist Church of Glen Arden, one of the largest churches in the county. From the Washington Gas Company, one of its senior vice presidents, Mr. Stephen Jumper. Steve, I've had reliable gas service too. Unfortunately, we don't have Washington gas service in my community, but there's a lot of methane hanging around there. All right. Colonel William Knight, the commander of Joint Base Andrews and the 11th Wing. This next gentleman I have to single out for just a second. He and his dad have been there from the get-go. These are two guys that when you're in office, there are a lot of people who recognize you and know that you're there and want to talk to you from time to time. But when you leave office is when you can look around and find out where your friends are. Along with people like Bill Chesley and others, theirs is one of the finest family-run companies in our county, in our region. And it gives me a great deal of pleasure to call up Mr. Gary Michael. And Ken, why don't you come up with him? You and David, too. David, come on. Come on. God, these guys are so modest. Gary, thank you. And Colonel Mike Minahan. Commander of the 89th Airlift Wing, the Presidential Wing. Mike, is it true that you are being transferred because the president's actually an inch shorter than you are? Very good. I like it. I don't think Dean Morehouse is here, right? Okay. And Greg Parker is not here. Mr. Stephen Peterson from the Peterson Companies. Congratulations. Stephen, I can't tell you how pleased we all are with National Harbor, what your family has done, and the vision of your father, who has brought an incredible opportunity for Prince Georgians to have a signature project that they can be so proud of. Please thank your dad and the family, and to you for all that you've done for Prince George's County and what you've done for the Business Roundtable. Mr. Jeff Pohanka. Everybody knows the Pohanka name. I'm going to also announce something that, since Jeff has agreed to do it, but we were informed not too long ago that the National Capital Region, Prince George's chapter of the Boy Scouts of America, who select what they call the Good Scouting Award, the recipient of that award, which is really the very, very honored award that is given to someone in the community that most exemplifies the principles and the ideals of scouting. And Jeff has just been selected for this year's award. I'm very proud of that, Jeff. Darrell, would you come up? We missed you when you were out. Darrell Davis, Financial Assurance Corporation. Darrell, thank you, and thank you for all of those fine videos that you've done promoting the Business Roundtable, and in particular doing our meetings and having your company and your staff do that has really been a great asset for us. Thank you so much. From the G.S. Proctor Company, one of the top 5 lobbying firms in the state of Maryland, a local homegrown guy that does an incredible job, very, very quiet philanthropist, Mr. Stephen Proctor, and Jeff's boss. Great. Steve, thank Diane too, because I know that's a partnership. One of our newest members, the Walton Companies, the developers of Westphalia, which is in essence going to be a huge city right next to Joint Base Andrews, here at the meeting for the first time, Mr. John Vick, representing the Walton Group.
Oh, my pleasure. Great way to start. Thanks, Jim.
And is Lee here? Yes. And last but not least, a person who will make this entire group shine, I can assure you, Miss Lee Williams. Lee is an attorney, by the way. I think that does it. There's one guy in the room that I wanted to recognize. I mentioned the Walton Companies, and a person that we've been working with, particularly for their groundbreaking that'll be coming up very soon from a very prominent law firm in the city, Steve Hutler, who is here from Pillsbury and Shaw. Steve, thank you for being here with us.